At the very beginning of the lesson, we talk about the 3 focuses of the week. So they know every week that at the end of the week, they're going to know the vocabulary words because they change weekly. They're going to know the phonics strategy because that changes weekly. And they're going to know comprehension strategy because that changes weekly. So every week, those 3 things are an integral part of the teaching and delivery. I think that relating their vocabulary words, making their own sentences, is a way for them to use the vocabulary words on their own. And drawing picture is engaging. They like to draw and use art. And I think that the best instructional strategy that I used was their independent practice to my instructional conversation center, because they were able to organize and manipulate the words and form their new understanding of the phonics skill, and then they could go and practice it in the writing center, where in this case today it's used as the fluency center. So my classroom is strategically planned in advance because we use centers a lot. So the student desks are grouped in a way that they can easily move from center to center, and also materials are in a place that has easy accessibility for them. They know exactly where to go when they need a dry erase board, and they know exactly where to go when they need a marker. And I have those readily available at my teacher center too. I don't have a desk. I use that space instead for a teacher center. So I actually asked not to have a desk. So that helps me with organization. And another part of organization is having the materials ready ahead of time so that I could show them what each center was going to be used. So I had them readily available to eliminate any time that could be wasted in transitions, preparing those things, because it's important that we use that time for instruction instead of setup. So we use centers a lot, and so they know that they need to clean up the center for the next group. They know when they hear the timer, to stop what they're doing, stand and point to where they need to go next. And that helps with a smooth transition throughout the centers. They know that we go in a circle. That's why I'm doing this. We go in a circular rotation, so they know where to go next. Also, at the beginning of the lesson, we reviewed some important things that might have been different than before. A couple of them were asking if we were going to go on Quizlet. That's another activity that they like to do. So I guess next time we need to do a Quizlet center. And then I had them practice the sound control, so they knew we could do level of voices. One is a whisper, which they were practicing, but I told them they could use a level 2. I want them to talk. I want them to be working together, except for the Lexia Center, which they use headphones, and so we went over that as well. I was scanning the room constantly, and I was pretty pleased by their engagement. The only thing, I had the vocabulary cards in the center right before mine so that I could quickly assess whether or not they were on task in the previous center. And so I had a little talk with one group because they didn't get done. Because I expect a lot, they usually finish things very quickly, so it was surprising to me that they didn't have it done. So I had a little talk with them before we started my center. But I recognize the fact that I didn't give consistent time to every group to finish that. So that group didn't have as much time as the first couple of groups did, and the last group didn't have as much time as the group before them. So I was a little bit more lenient on the time, because I recognize that my group, since I have homogeneous groupings, I am flexible with the time that I spend in each group based on their need. I think that they can apply these skills in their reading. So when we were going over the ending sounds in my group, they were able to apply that in the story that they read afterwards. And the final group that I had was my advanced group, so I pushed them to come up with their own words that had the shun and the chur ending sounds. So they were able to think about what else in our lives do we use that word, and they were looking around at the resources, and they were using what we had in the classroom to compile their own list. And the vocabulary cards, the vocabulary words will be useful for them because those are words that they use every day. And they can use those words in the future if they didn't use them every day already. I think the next time I might have a book for this center. I might have a book, and I might have them scan the book for the shun and the chur words to make it a little bit more accessible. Like the last group, they were looking around for words because they couldn't think of them on their own, and I want them to eventually be able to do that. But I think that if they were challenged in that way, I could help them out by having a book that has a whole bunch of shun and chur ending words that they can use and add to their list.